Gail Styger, fondly known as Sister G. That sounds like a term of endearment for you. Has that always been the case, especially in this community?
No, it hasn't. I've been here since 2013, and I think in the early days it was a case of, what's this woman doing here? Will she last? People said you're not going to last. It's tough working here, and there are sometimes quite difficult circumstances. But by 2015, I got the name Sister G, and for me that means that people have started to trust my intention. But you must remember, it's not just about me and Sister G. There's a whole team of us in the Wot-if Trust, and it's really about working here in Diepsloot and trying to do some good.
You've remained lean and mean and focused in this community instead of replicating yourself around the country. Why did you choose to do that?
It's quite difficult if you want to do socioeconomic and enterprise development to try and do it all over the place. And we said we are going to operate in Diepsloot. So if you want to do socioeconomic or enterprise development, we're going to do it here. And our philosophy is that we work deep and wide in one community, and we prove a model. If this model works, we've been here now for 4 years. If it works, we'll share it with other people. It can be replicated in other communities. Our big success here is that we work strategically and we work very systemically, so everything is connected. People sometimes say that I join dots where dots don't even exist yet, but I'm forever looking for dots to join. And so we understand the community, we understand the challenges, not only our challenges, but community challenges. You can't build a business in Diepsloot if you don't understand social ills. You can't work with a women's group if you don't understand some of the things that women face in a community like this.
What are the specific projects that you're involved in this community?
The first project, in fact, is the facility that we run. So the centre that we're sitting in now is an open collaborative workspace. So basically, small businesses can come here, they can access computers, they can access the internet, they can access electricity, because a lot of people live in homes that are not electrified. There are meeting rooms, there's refreshments, so literally they can use this space to run their businesses. Over and above that, many of our small businesses go through a thinkubation program, and that's different to the typical incubators that you get for small businesses, where they take you when you already have a reasonably successful business model. We don't turn anybody away. So we take small businesses who either have an idea or they've registered their small business, and then we coach them through, do you have a viable value proposition? How are you going to monetize your idea? And then we help them, pointless, we help them with branding when they don't even have a good business idea. So we help them then with branding, with social media, and later on with their whole financial model. We have an app which is called Exceed, which they have to use for record keeping, so they have to log all the income and the expenditure so that later on we can do income statements and that sort of thing. So it's really trying to formalize businesses a little bit more. So that then starts moving into what we call small business support. We have about 47 small businesses that we currently support in different ways. Some just by, being here, using this as their space, going through the incubation program. Others we help with equipment. And we have Diepsloot Radio in our hub next door, so they are our only permanent resident in the hub, because a radio station tells a good story to visitors who come here. We have a women's empowerment program, so that is women-owned businesses, but also gogos who do handmade products. We have a label called Kazi Zen, so they make high-end township products that are sold at markets and to corporates and that sort of thing. So that's small business development, women's empowerment, youth development. And youth development, there's two parts to it. We offer some bursaries, quite limited bursaries, but to really deserving township youngsters who just have no other way of accessing funds. And then we also have a roots and shoots program. So we teach youngsters to honor and value the environment, animals, people, and the environment. So, we're big on getting youngsters to actually, even though you live in really dire circumstances, you can actually be nice to the environment and nice to animals and that sort of thing. And then the last one we have is we call random acts of kindness. So that is just doing sometimes good, doing the charity stuff.
Absolutely amazing work that you're doing here. Why are you doing this?
But I was always a cause person. I always liked to have a social project or something that we supported, in the corporate space. And I think the sad thing for me was always that it was didn't feel like it was sustainable. It wasn't like you were leaving behind a legacy or a sustainable model where people could one day do it by themselves. We're all about sustainability and working together. We have a vision for Diepsloot that we all subscribe to, which is a Vision 2030. It's called Diepsloot 2030.
Wow.
And it's about saying, are we all on the same page? And we're starting to get onto that, sort of all resonating behind a good Diepsloot by 2030.
Is there a relationship between Diepsloot 2030 and the NDP 2030?
So we engaged in a community consultation with about 200-300 people, and we used a process called What Does It Look Like When It's Fixed? And people draw pictures of what they'd like the community to look like. So we have a lot of elements from that stakeholder consultation that we use. Then we started linking it to, every year we have a social good summit, which is run in New York every year. We're the official South African meetup, which is very cool because it happens here in Diepsloot. And they are the Sustainable Development Goals. So their whole thing is about how do we make a better world. So our strategy is linked to the Sustainable Development Goals. And then slowly but surely we've started looking at all the different strategies, you know, the NDP. So we try and link and we try and show people that there are all of these strategies. We also link to GDS 2040, which is the growth and development strategy of the city of Joburg.
What are some of your success stories?
So one of our success stories is Diepsloot Times. Patricia always wanted to do a printed newspaper. We've got a music company called Pusha Mzala. They've just recently taken a young Diepsloot artist, musician, who's now on iTunes and all of those sorts of things. Some of the businesses we help with bridging funding. We don't necessarily provide the funding, but we connect them to City of Joburg has got a Josie SMME hub just up the road here at the River Sands Incubator. We have many success stories.
You're involved in, you know, in a million and one things. What do you still need?
So right now, top of our wish list is getting the hub furnished. We have space for a studio, and we're hoping to make it, you know, in the Sloot, you always do things that double up, that can do more than one thing. So we want a studio that can be both a sound studio and a video studio. But then on the outside of that, obviously we need the sound desk. We need the computers with, you know, Macs that people can do Final Cut Pro or whatever, so that they can edit their videos. Designers can do web design or graphic design. Fashion designers can do fashion designs. I mean, it's we've got a very big filmmaking contingent. We have a Sloot Motion Picture collaboration, which is a collaboration between all the filmmakers. So we want to link people to opportunities, and we obviously want to make sure that they have the right resources to do what they want. So tech resources,
okay,
all the way.
Thank you so much for your time, Gail. Continue playing your part.
Thank you so much.